Welcome to another installment of the Cool Kids Table Podcast. You can listen to all episodes of the podcast at TheCoolKidsTablePodcastcom. Make sure to subscribe, like the videos, share them off YouTube at the Cool Kids Table Podcast. Facebook and Instagram, you can find us at the Cool Kids Table Podcast. And Twitter is the Cool Kids Pod. My guest today is Angel Salgado from the Delirians. He was on here a few episodes ago. Great guy. I got a lot of messages saying, how the fuck you get this guy on? Why would he come onto your bullshit show? And that's the kind of guy he is. And he's back. We just kind of planned this on the last few days, and I'm glad he's on board. I don't know what we're going to talk about. Normally the intros come on before. I record them after, but today I'm recording it before. But he's signing on right now. Let me just make sure his audio and his video are on, and we're good to go. So it says he's connecting. Thank you to Zoom. We are being able to do these kind of things. He disconnected, so I'll kill a little bit more time. Yeah. Hope you guys are good. Hope you guys. I messaged with a lot of you guys on the social medias, but for those of you listening, hope you're doing well. Hope you're safe. Hope your family members are safe. Your loved ones, all that gravy stuff. Stay out of trouble. Don't be protesting like those fucking idiots out there in the the Midwest, Minnesota, Michigan, all that. We don't need to put other people in danger. It's about we, not me. So fucking, read a book, watch some Netflix. We're all fucking growing impatient, right? Like, bills are piling up on all ends. This is the fourth week I've been out of work. Essential but illegal, and it's for the best. Fuck the economy. Money comes and goes. The saying. But you only got one life. But take care of your loved ones. Angel's in. Angel, can you hear me? Make sure to check out Angel and his band at the Delirians on Instagram. That's at _ the Delirians. No underscore. That little, what's that called? The little A, the at the Delirians. Why did I say underscore? Oh, you're trying to. Your audio. I can't hear you. Let me see. Cool. Can you hear me? There we go. Cool. Perfect. So I give everybody a little quick intro. Let everybody know hello. Angel.
What's up, everybody? Angel here from the Delirians. Hope everybody is healthy and safe at home.
It's beautiful. The kind of guy he is. That's what I was saying. He's a great dude. So started off, we were a little warming up while we were, setting up the audio and the video. We were talking already about all the shit going on behind the scenes that we can now, they do it right in front of you, right? Prime example, the congressmen and women who they had not a secret meeting, but they had a meeting where they were informed about COVID-19. And then these guys decide to fucking sell off their stock right before not right before they notified us. And then they fucking buy the stock of companies they think that will rise. Instead of alerting the people or like getting the government ready for this type of scenario, they're in it for themselves. They're pretty much in it for themselves, basically. They're not thinking about the American public. They're, what's it called? They're constituents. Crooks with fucking suits on. And then lady, she gets appointed to the reopening of America, which is ridiculous.
It's crazy, man. It's like some of the shit going on right now. You can't even make it up. It's like the strangest time that we're living in right now.
And there's so much misinformation, information from both sides. Any little thing gets blown out of proportion. And that's what I tell my friends, when you make a big deal out of everything, when it's the big deal, nobody takes it seriously because dude, you're always talking about this shit. You're always, because like CNN, Fox News, they're always blowing things out of proportion. So when the big one comes, it's like, here they go, fucking clickbait. When it's like they should be, news to be held accountable. There's reports that Fox News might get sued because people were taking that, it's like, dude, don't worry about it. It's a fucking Chinese hoax. Democrats are trying to get against Trump. So go out and dude, people were dying. Like they were taking that too hard. Like the pastors, I know a lot of the listeners are religious, even though I am not. And the pastors were asking for, what's that called?
For
Like
money.
for money, basically. Like, oh,
Yeah.
we got Cash App, we got Zelle. So don't, we know you got that 1,200. Don't forget to
Oh,
send it in. Don't forget. Like, what the fuck, dude? Instead of saying, hey,
that's so messed up, man. Like to be asking for people for money and this time, when those people need so much help right now, and you're still trying to ask them for money. It's like, why? I don't know. It's hard to wrap your head around that, like, and actually come to some kind of understanding of why they need all this money. Like, who needs this money?
like they already got two, and these are like the super rich, like the fucking guys with 2 or 3
Yeah,
private jets, and then they're still like, hey, we know you got that 1,200.
right.
Make sure you send it. Like instead of saying, oh, okay, let's set up a food bank, let's help our community or the people that are most in need. They're doing the exact opposite. And then the crazy thing is, this is the craziest part, is people are actually sending in money.
Yeah.
Like,
It's hey man, that's the crazy thing about everything right now. Like a lot of the stuff, like you look at what this guy's talking about on TV right now sometimes, and you're just like, he's just stroking his own ego so much, and it's like crazy because you're just like, yeah, people actually believe this shit, like that's nuts. Like that's crazy to me that people believe him and follow him, and you see these videos where they go, to the Trump rallies, and they're like fact checking people, and people are just like, even with facts, they're just fact proof, they're just like, nope, nope, nope. Like,
yeah,
I'm
that's
just like, damn, that's, I mean,
I,
at the same time, it must be great for a leader to have people who back them no matter what, like
no
that.
matter what. And it's ridiculous because these people are the people that I had a few, but they've deleted me over the years or blocked me or whatever it may have been off social media, just because I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum. But they would post like, "Oh, you sheeple believe," like, oh my god, like you are a definition of sheeple. Like when I hear sheeple, I think of you, and they're like,
Yeah,
"Oh, you just that liberal media," and I'm like, I agree with you. Like I would, comment, little waste of time, right? But I'd be like, I agree with you. It is liberal as bullshit. Like I don't agree with what they're saying. They're just using their own propaganda machine to do the exact same thing. But you got to be aware, just like CNN's doing that shit, so is fucking
yeah.
Fox News or whatever, insert whatever bias
And that's the
website it
problem,
is.
that the problem is that there's bullshit on both sides. Like, it doesn't matter where you are. When it comes to politics, there's a bunch of bullshit, there's a bunch of lies, and it all comes down to
To
money.
cash, yeah. And so I tell people, dude, I'm not here to change nobody's opinion. I don't think nobody's trying to change my opinion. I just tell you, this is what I think, and this is why I think it. Yeah, I'll do. I saw that you shouldn't say research because we're not over here like. But yeah, okay, I'll do my groundwork. I'll decide for myself, right? I'll read at these
Yeah, yeah,
articles, not just the articles, but the data. Because sometimes you'll see. Actually, this weekend, 4 no, skyrocketing. What was it? It was on CNN. It was skyrocketing coronavirus deaths in LA County. I was like, okay, shit, let me check this out. It went up 2%. Okay, that's not skyrocketing. They could have used other words like it's rate rising.
yeah,
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. It is. I am more liberal than probably CNN, but okay, I'm on your side. But you're using the wrong words. 2% is not fucking skyrocketing. Oh,
right.
and it turns out that the data they're using is for LA City, which is not the same thing as LA County, even though it's big. LA City is not the same thing. And it was only for like 3 hospitals. So like, okay, so you're twisting this own shit to fit your narrative, even though I'm on your side. Like, I don't
Yeah,
agree with what you're doing. And that's
yeah,
what, like, we got to be aware. Even me, some people I'm sure are going to like, what's my agenda? Like, what? Dude, I don't give a fuck what you believe. As long as you inform yourself, hit
work
me with
for.
facts. Because, dude, you'll trip out. But at the beginning, I was like, dude, this is bullshit. Because all the shit I read at the time, everybody was saying, you got to keep in mind, this was like late February, early March. And it was all the stuff from China, like the um the what is it, not the kill percentage was like 0.08, right? But that's because
Yeah.
people hadn't been quarantined yet. That's because it takes 2 weeks for people to die. So all the information that was out there at the time, or at least that was accessible to me, was all like, dude, this is an overreaction. So we
Yeah.
went camping on this weekend
Oh,
for my homie's
yeah.
bachelorette party, and we're gone for like 3-4 days. I come back on that Monday and I'm still with that mentality, like, dude, this is bullshit. This is whatever. Little did we know that all these people were dropping like flies in China. Italy was starting to get fucking massacred. And so a few friends called me out on it, right? And I was like, okay, I planned ahead. So I got the Monday off as well, to recover. And so I just started doing my due diligence. And then it was like all these numbers had changed. It went from a 0.08 to 3%. And it went from like it's killing old people to it's killing unhealthy people from any age. And there's anomalies here, but there's about 1 in 100 healthy people will die. We don't know why. Yes, 99%. So I was like, oh shit, everything changed. So I changed
Yeah.
my mind. All the posts I had made, like the memes and all that shit, I was like, yo, guys, I even said, call me out on my bullshit, but just let's move forward. I could take the loss, like I'm not married to my opinions. Like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Hit me with them, people were like, ah, ha, 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 ha. Like, oh my God, how does it feel to be wrong? Like, cool. Now let's move forward. I'll take that, but let's move forward. And then I was like, dude, people are dying like crazy. I don't think you guys
Yeah.
are taking it as seriously as you should. I wasn't taking it as seriously as I should have, but I was like, but now that I know this, like I shared the data, like that I had that convinced me to like say, dude, this is ridiculous. People are overreacting. I shared all that. So once my mind, which has changed, I shared that data too. Like this is why my mind had changed. So that's why I feel like some people didn't really give me that hard of a time because they're like, oh, you did change your mind, but I see why. And other people were just like, ah, ha, 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 ha. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's move on though, because I'm not, dude. I'm quarantined. This is my fourth Monday.
All the
I'm,
all the fucking Facebook warriors.
yeah, yeah. No, it's on the podcast, dude. I've gotten. It's cool because I remember on this episode of Joe Rogan said, I forget what guest, but somebody asked him like, when do you think like you made it? Like when he goes, you get support from all people. He goes, but when you got different people hating you for different reasons, that's when you're doing something. Because, and I was like, to me, it was almost like, oh, dude, all these white people are going crazy, talking shit to me. And then like some Latinos were like, oh my God, that's why yada, yada, yada. That's why they should close the borders. I'm like, cool. So everybody's hating me, like cool. So that to me, it felt like I haven't made it, but I'm on my path. Once you start feeling hate from different people, it's like, obviously you're doing something because they're not just going to hate on nobody for no reason. So like, to me, it was kind of like, all right, but that's my ego that I'm trying to get rid of. But it felt like a pat on the back, like, that they're fucking so angry at me. I'm like, I wouldn't be that angry at some show I listen to. If they called me by name and said you're a fucking dumbass, I wouldn't take offense. And these people who just listened to maybe 1 or 2 episodes were so offended because
That's
of
how
a few
people are,
memes.
man.
Yeah.
People are just looking for stuff to be upset about all the time.
Oh man, you're telling me.
It's crazy, man.
What about you though? How have you been staying busy? What's
Man,
going on in your
well,
life?
I've been good, man. Luckily, and thankfully healthy. Both me and my lady have been healthy, so we're chilling. We actually were moving in the middle of all of this, so we put our move on hold for like a whole month, and then just finished like 2 days ago. We moved in everything, so slowly just setting stuff up at our new spot.
I don't want to give
Uh,
away your location. Not that I know it, but I saw that scenery. I think you posted it yesterday. I was like, oh damn, that looks beautiful.
oh yeah, man, we found a nice place. It's a little away, not away from the city, I would say, but it's just there's a lot of trees.
Nice nature. Yeah, yeah. That's what I
Yeah.
noticed. All the like, I don't remember what your caption was or anything like that. I just remember like you said, like I could get used to this or something along those lines. Like, oh, like
Yeah, man. I'm just excited because I haven't felt like writing or making music for a while. Like after we moved out and this whole thing went down, like everything shut down. We had to cancel our shows. I got laid off of work for like a week, and then I was thrown back into work. So it was just a bunch of madness. But luckily, like they got more work for us, so I'm still gonna be working. um but it's crazy, man. Like you're saying, there's all this misinformation, and I'm just like, to me it's just kind of like confusing and sad. It's sad because even though people are dying every day all around the world from starvation, but like just to see these numbers and like just see how much they're like growing and growing, and like they're saying, it's not good for people who aren't healthy, and the people who are of older age, so we worry about our loved ones, and we just do the best to make sure that we don't get them sick, like, because you know I'm skeptic about a lot of stuff usually too, but I'm not gonna take any risk when it comes to the health, my health, or the health of my family. So after I started hearing about it, like at first I was like, it's nothing, and then I was like, oh damn, like, and then you start seeing like the worldwide, we're like past 2 million infected and almost 3 million probably by now. And you start just, it's a lot of people are gonna get sick of this thing, and without any answers. It's crazy, because they don't have a vaccine yet. They don't have all the proper testing. They don't have a lot of stuff. So it's like you just kind of start worrying about it. And like I said, I just watching out for my family, watching out for my loved ones. Because I rather be safe than sorry. So
That's
we just we've been chilling. We've been going out a little bit here and there, and just safely. Now that everybody's wearing masks, you can see a lot more people coming out. um and you know it's like, if I would have like a month ago, I would have been like, it's a little exaggerating, but yeah, man, like when we're not getting any answers from anyone, it's like we gotta kind of like just kind of be like, all right, let's just be careful.
yeah, yeah.
you know
Just
so yeah,
this week I started.
what happened?
Just this week I started like going for runs. Just because the first weeks when I walked my dog, there was nobody. So I was like, dude, I don't want to be the asshole that's
Well,
fucking
out there
out there. Yeah,
running
yeah,
like
yeah. So I said. So then this past week, one of the I mentioned some of the episodes didn't get recorded. One of the group ones, I was talking to a few friends. I was like, yeah, they were roasting me for the 2020 challenges. Cause they're like, dude, fucking, you're doing all the easy ones, drinking water, fucking not drinking soda. But what about the running one? I'm like, dude, I want to be running. They're like, so you walk your dog, but you don't run. So that kind of motivated me. Like, oh fuck it. So this weekend I started running, and dude, there's other people. I was like, okay, it's not things
yeah,
are getting back to normal or anything like that. But 2-3 weeks ago, there was no cars out of the street after like 6-7
yeah,
p.m. Like there was no cars out here. I granted I live kind of far, but even out here, it's like it's a major street. I live right next to a major street. Like there's traffic all day. Stops about 10, 11, and it starts up about 4 a.m. And none of that. I went to the gas station and they were letting one person at a time. Like I had to just leave and come back because there was like 20 people in line. Like one person, and I was like, oh fuck, like this is. So I went back like at midnight, when just to fill up for the next day where I was gonna go for my daughter. And I was like, is that how it is all day? He goes, yeah, people get upset, man, but I can't have more than one person. And then this past week I went around 10 p.m. and there was like 5-6 people, and everybody keeping their distance. But I was like, okay, so it's not like things are getting back to normal, but you could see a change. Like, okay, everybody's wearing gloves, masks.
yeah.
Last week when my dog ran out of food, last Tuesday, I went to Smart and Final just for a quick bag of food for him, and somebody walked in without a mask, and everybody was like he had fucking, like he was coughing on people. He was keeping his distance as well, and he kept doing like throwing his shoulder, I guess, like his armpit to cover his mouth, and people were just like keeping their distance, which is kind of just like everybody, the employees, everything. Like, sir, we can't. He's like, I just need to pick something. Like, no, sir, you need to go outside. And he just kept walking. Like, I need to get this thing. Luckily, I was already paying, but you could just see it. Like, people are tense. Like on pins and needles. Like, it's not a deadly disease, but why take that risk? Especially knowing what we know. Like, okay, if I'm careful, it doesn't mean I won't get it, but the chances are even lower of me getting it. If I get it, I probably
Yeah.
won't die. But if I could just avoid all of that, and then I put less people in danger, like let's just
You're
run
like,
the
that
numbers,
sounds
you know.
better. Yeah,
And
exactly.
so it's kind of odd to see, like you said, a month ago, 2 months ago, um, at work, people just started kind of like, hey, well, how do you feel about this? You know, just throwing it out there. I let them know how I felt. Well, maybe a little longer than 2 months, maybe in January, 3 months.
Yeah.
And then once I started taking it a little more serious, they were like, you think it's a little more, you think it's, I was like, I don't know, but it's just the data keeps changing so fast because that's when people started dying. So the death rate went from fucking, and that's when like it is almost like clickbait, but the death rate went from 0.08% to 3%. And it's like, oh shit, is it tripling? And it's like, okay, it didn't triple. It's just that it takes 2 weeks for it to like you start showing symptoms. Then if you go to
Yeah.
the hospital, it takes about 2 weeks for you to die. So it's like a month-long process. It's not.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, oh
That,
fuck, these numbers just jumped out of nowhere. I was like, oh fuck, we're
yeah,
gonna, yeah, that's why, you know.
and
But
like all the how they're saying that people are asymptomatic, how you won't show any symptoms, but you're a carrier and shit.
yeah,
All of that is fucking scary because
that's crazy.
that we could all have it by
Yeah,
now. We don't even know about it, you know.
and
So it's yeah, dude, it's crazy, man. Because yeah, I mean, and then there's like they're saying that like the H1, the other one virus started popping out over there too, and
oh
then
shit.
like they were saying that people were getting reinfected, and it's just like what madness, man.
And the whole Spanish flu meme that started going out this week, where like the initial Spanish flu didn't kill all that many people, but they were on lockdown too. They were on quarantine, and then World War I ended, so people got all excited, like fuck yeah, this gives us an excuse to leave. So they went and threw parties like in every major city, and then people just started dropping like flies because they thought like they were good to go. But the second wave
Yeah,
was actually the killer one, not the first one because they were under quarantine. And then
yeah,
you
I
got
saw that.
people. Go ahead. We could.
No, I heard something too that they were talking about how, because you know how the Spanish flu would like why they called it the Spanish flu and stuff.
Yeah.
Have you heard about that? They,
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
saying that it was like it wasn't even from Spain.
No,
They just
there was only doctors taking it seriously.
yeah,
Like they don't know where it originated, but they think it might have been a pig farm in Kansas, right? And because they were calling
yeah,
it the China flu, and people were like, that's racist. It might or not might not be. That's where it came from. I don't see it as a racist thing, but I could see an Asian guy saying, hey, that's racist. Like if they call it the
yeah.
Mexican, but the Spanish flu was because they weren't even it didn't originate in Spain. It was just let's say in this time, let's say it was the I don't know, the
It
Australian
was
doctors
like
that took it
it
seriously.
was like military that had it that caught it first or something like that. But they didn't want to say it because they didn't want to show weakness. They didn't want to know. They didn't want people to know that the military was not in good health.
Damn, I didn't know that part.
Yeah, so they supposedly they named it the Spanish flu because it was like the most neutral place, you know. So they didn't want it's
Yeah,
fucking
they don't want
propaganda.
beef. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy though because it's like I don't know. It's crazy how you start finding out, like, as you grow up, you start finding out all these things that are different from what they try to teach you at
Oh,
school,
dude.
And
I,
you're just like, what the fuck? Like, that's some bullshit.
one of the first ones. I feel like every student goes through that, and you should. Like that's why, like the stuff they teach you in school. For me, the big one was Columbus, because
Oh,
like
yeah.
around like ninth grade, we had a substitute. I wish I remembered his name. I was too young to care, just kind of whatever. This was like I'm what, 31. So I was probably like maybe 14, 13 at the time. We had just gotten like computer like when I was in eighth grade. So we had internet and shit. And I remember he was like, don't believe everything they teach you, like you guys got to grow up. And it was like an AP class too. So he was like a smart teacher, right? And he was like, you guys got to almost like now I could see that he was a liberal, right? At the time, I didn't know none of that shit, but I just like, dude, that was a cool teacher. He was like, they lie to you. Like, have you guys heard about the JFK assassination? And we were talking conspiracy theories without knowing it, right? And he's like, yeah, man, there's fucking, um, the government is in it for themselves. Remember, I remember this because I actually used this quote today in a conversation. I was like, the system isn't broken. The system is designed for the rich by the rich. So everything that's happening, it's it's not a flaw. This is how they planned it. And I remember he
Yeah.
said that so long ago, and I still remember it. But the thing he like resonated with me was, do you guys know the truth about Christopher Columbus? And we were like, well, yeah, he sailed the in 1492. He sailed the ocean blue. He's like, no, he didn't. Like, he was a rapist. He was a thief. Like, they were trying to get rid. Just kind of telling you, like, what? Like, no,
That fool thought he was in India.
yeah. And so then, like, I go through 10th grade, 11th grade, and they're still teaching you about Columbus Day and this and that, the indigenous people, Thanksgiving. And I was like, so by the time I got to my senior year, I did some, I guess research is not the right word, but I'll use it without, for lack of a better word. I did my research on him. And sure enough, this was before, no Wikipedia was around, but you couldn't use it as a source. I hated that in high school. But, you go down to the bottom and all the sources are there. So you just go click on those. And it was telling me all these things about Christopher Columbus that was like, I remember telling people, like, dude, Christopher Columbus was a thief and a fraud, a rapist, and like he was lost and he didn't know none of this shit. And he died never realizing that he discovered America. It's like he still in his mind was like, no, that's India. So all this was bullshit written after the fact that they teach us now. And I don't know what the purpose of that whole lie for so long is, but now it's called Indigenous People Day, like, because so many people found that out. And then I'm like, I always bring up Operation Paperclip, like, it was a myth that all these fucking German Nazis, scientists, the US went in and took them to make, like, to get all their fucking, their brains and shit. Fact, the guy that fucking ran NASA was one of the leading, if not the leading, German scientists behind all these fucking terrible war crimes, But it was like between the US and Russia, who could get the most scientists, on their side. And it's like, oh fuck, like, what else have they lied to me about? The fucking all these things just start popping up, like what you said earlier. Like, I'm a skeptic, not by choice, but just that so many things they've told me over the years in school, whatever. And then you find out it's bullshit. So when things like this happen, same thing, I was like, oh man, here we go. Little fucking, the election's coming up. They're going to try to rig this for whatever. I guess my own agenda is like, Trump's going to try to rig it for his favor or Trump's people, maybe not him, but like, here we go. And some other bullshit. So that's why, like, not to give myself a reason to say, oh, this is why I think like that, but just to be like, you proved me right so many times, over the course of that. That's why I was like, I guess, how do they say, my skeptic glasses were on. Like, nah, I don't buy it. And I did a poll, which is the funny part. I did a poll on both pages, my personal, and I don't remember the exact numbers, but I do remember that a total of 8 people out of like 100 said, I put like, the coronavirus, are you buying this hoax? Yes or no? And then, like, overwhelmingly everybody was like, nope, 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 nope. And total it was 5 on the podcast page and 3 on my personal page were like, yes, this is not a hoax. And this was like in February. So I was like, you motherfuckers made fun of me for this shit. Maybe because I was a little vocal about it. But I was like, you guys thought the same shit.
Everybody, man, it's hard, man. Nobody knows what to think because we don't have any information.
It's I don't even know, man. Like, the first week I was like, fuck, dude, this is bullshit. People are dying and nobody's taking it serious. And I was like, Hector, the second week I was like, Hector, chill. Just fucking do your life, I could only post so much. People are gonna get annoyed, not even take the substance, So I was like, just live your life and do what you can. The people you get in contact with, let them know, be precautionary, fucking wear gloves, all that shit. And then they started putting into effect these laws, like out here where I live, they made it like it was a fine if you didn't have a face mask or gloves on in public. And out of nowhere, people don't want those 1,200 gone for a little stupid fine. So everybody started wearing their gloves. And next thing you know, it's like, okay. Then it comes out, these gloves aren't effective. These masks aren't working. People aren't washing their masks. I was like, so what the fuck do we do? The respirators, the N95, but everyone like, don't use those. Don't be an asshole. If you have a few, fucking donate them to the local hospital. Like, what the fuck do we do? Like, what can we do? No matter what you do, you're doing it wrong.
Every day you hear something new and you're just like, like, 6 feet away, 10 feet away, 15 feet away, 30 feet away. Like, oh, shit, man, I give up. But the good thing is that, I mean, at least for us, and I'm sure anybody who gets to watch this is like, we freaking have a home, we have a place to live, we have food, we're not running out of supplies yet,
No, and
so,
that's it is a privilege, not almost a privilege. Like I get bored.
Totally.
I go from Netflix to working out to reading. Other people's like, fuck, I got nothing. I got nothing. I got no TV. I got
Yeah,
no cable. I don't have Wi-Fi. So my data plan, just little things, it could be worse. Not to say that we're not in a shitty situation, but it could be worse. There's people. I'm fortunate where, we got food and shelter. There's people that, there's a reason why the schools are giving out lunches, because those kids
yeah,
need that meal.
yeah, man.
So
That's one of the things that trips me out too. Like a lot of kids, that's all they depend on is the food from their schools. And then like the sad thing too is like a lot of those kids are like being abused at home,
yeah,
by abusive parents or brothers and sisters. And it's like now they don't have
that
that,
escape.
that escape. They're just stuck there. So that's like one of the things that I was saying was like, just check on everybody. Check on your neighbors, check on your friends. Everybody. Everybody. There's a lot of people who need just a little more support than others. And there's a lot of people who got a lot to give and that. So if if you're healthy and you're well and you're mentally doing well, use it to help others who aren't. Use it to help people who can need it, somebody to talk to, people who need you know a hand, people who can't go out to the store and buy what they need
The
because
elderly,
of
they're at
because of
risk.
what's going on. Yeah, and that's I think one of the as nasty as all this that's going on is one of the beauties about this is that it's going to show a lot of people like the power of unity between human beings and just what we can do when we decide to work together. And unfortunately, there's still a lot of people who don't want to work with other. They're always going to be opposing to whatever the person that is not of their best interest is. But for a lot of us, it's like, it's a time to realize that we only have each other. We only have our own people, nuestra gente. We only have each other to like take care of each other and to like watch out for each other, because these people they're not trying to help us, man. $1,200, they acted like we are trying to take an arm and a leg from them.
Yeah, a
And it's
basic
like,
human right. Like
yeah, it's like obvious that their interest is the people with money, and they don't care about us. So it's like it's a good thing for people to see that. And because a lot of people never really believe that. A lot of people don't. You tell them, oh, like it's like when people say, oh yeah, it's only, why would the government do that? And it's like, I'm just like, damn, like, you really think everything they're doing is in the best interest of you? And yeah, I mean, in comparison to the rest of the world, we live in a really good situation, but what's
it
the
could be
cost?
better. Yeah,
And
and
what's the cost? Because we're the only reason for that is because we're out there in other places destroying and taking resources from other people who don't have anything like we do here. So it's just, it's a good time for people to just use that strength of community and use that strength of reaching out and communication, and talk to your people, talk to your friends. There's a lot of suicides. I heard that there's been a lot of suicides going on too, like the rates of people dying. So reach out to all those people that need that extra, shoulder, that helping hand, and just help each other out. That's all we can do, and just wait it out until we get through, until we figure out at least more information, right?
yeah, because I mean, well said. Like all of that was nice. Fucking, sometimes you see all these posts, right? Like if you're not fucking coming out of this fit with the new fucking YouTube channel, a new podcast, a new song, a new language, a new this, you're fucking up. Like you don't like time, you like discipline. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I was like, I just saw that one. I was
Yeah,
like, oh damn, I'm a lazy fuck. Cause that first week I just chilled. I've been working for so long, dude. 5,
dude.
6 days, 7 days a week, where I was like, I need a break. So that first week, but then even then I was bored, right? After not doing anything. And then you start seeing people like writing like, hey man, no. We're all built differently. If you need time to assess the situation, take your time. If
Yeah, man.
if they got the fucking the basic necessities taken care of and they don't got to worry about no bills and whatever, let them learn the language. Let them do their fucking Instagram live workout videos. But if you got to worry about your fucking family, then worry, because if you're trying to hide that, you're just pushing it away, and it's going to blow up later. Like, no, we're all in this together. Don't let somebody else's opinion on the internet like fucking make or break you. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm not a lazy fuck. This is the way I'm doing about, because dude, I watched so much Netflix. I felt like shit because I was like, dude, all this fucking time on Netflix, right? But that was my coping mechanism. Like,
Yeah.
oh fuck. 'Cause I was not worrying, but I was just like, I have, through either friends, family, old coworkers, um, exes, a lot of older people in my life. And I was just like, dude, so and so's still working. Like, what the fuck? How, of all people, he should be at home. Like, yeah, he doesn't listen. He's stubborn. Call him. And I'm like, so all these things are running through your head all day, right? Like you said, like, dude, you got to check in on them, call them, let them know, hey, man,
Yeah.
take some time off. Like, no, man, like, I'm 82. I've been doing this all my life. If this is what's going to take me, then so be it. Like, no, dude,
Yeah.
like, you still got a good 10 years in you,
I
minimum.
know.
Like, enjoy them. Like, no, man, I had a good run. Like, okay, so he's made his mind. It's not about ignorance. It's that he's okay
Yeah.
with it. Like, okay. But other people, where it's out of necessity, you're like, what can we do for you to go home so you don't have to do this?
Yeah.
Well, if, so and so, they bring groceries once a week, then maybe I don't got to, okay, cool. Let's make that happen. Shit like that, where you're like, everybody's in this, I'm very selfish. I try not to be, but most of the time it takes I don't know, like a thought or two for me to be like, what about them? Because at first I was like, what do I need? What does, my daughter Abby, I was like, what does Abby need? And then so first, that's what I'm doing, looking out for us. And I'm like, are my homies okay? Group chats, everything. Some of them are still working. I'm good, bro. Thank you for checking. Okay, cool. Then we're good. But that's like what you said. Like, to me, it's not an instinct. Like, I'm a piece of shit. The listeners are well aware of that. So to me, it's a work where I have to be like, okay, I'm good. Let me see about you guys. And so I'll send out like memes sometimes. Be like, if you need somebody to talk to, my DMs are open. Unless it's like honestly, like no biggie, then I'll just put whoever I'm talking to, be like, oh, good job, yo, and you're running so many miles. But if it's something personal, I'll just screenshot where nobody will know who it is, and then like no name or nothing. I'll be like, dude, people come in here for all types of shit. Some people just bullshit about fucking whatever Trump did that week. And we just laugh it off, but that's their escape. I get it.
Yeah.
Like, this is how they cope with this. Like, fucking Trump, dude. And to me, it's always like, okay, cool. Like, it's not like I have anything else better to, So I'm just kind
Yeah.
of like trying to do my part. Cause at first I was like, fuck, dude, just kind of chilling, going about it pretty much without really realizing that sometimes even me, a piece of shit, could have an impact on somebody, like where that's their escape, having somebody to talk to, fucking
Yeah.
DM or fucking a little, excuse me, a text message conversation that only lasts like about 30 minutes, but just to let them get it off their shoulders. Cause I'm I'm not like a strong person, like, personality wise, but I know a lot of people that like have a strong personality, but once you know them on that personal level, they're softies. And that's who I initially reached out to. I was like, hey man, like, how are you doing? It's like, oh man, I'm going crazy at the house, and it's like, cause that's who I knew would be the ones most struggling.
Yeah.
The introverts are used to being home. They're like, this is chill. I'm in
Yeah.
paradise. But the extroverts are the ones that are suffering because they're not at the bars with the banda. They're not at the nail salon fucking gossiping with the ladies.
Yeah,
So
man. It's crazy, man. It's like, like everything. It's just, I've been tripping out too. Like, all the people that usually sell flowers and like, sodas on the freeway, they're all selling masks.
yeah,
So, and it's crazy because you see how things just change and start shifting from one thing to another. And man, and like I heard something about the farm workers that they're trying to cut their pay and shit. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, why? Like, what the fuck? Why?
are most
It's
vulnerable, and it's
frustrating, man. It's frustrating, and it's sad. And I think that's like, like you were saying earlier about how some people feel productive and some people don't. And like I'm guilty because I was telling you, like I haven't felt productive like I've been feeling sad, man, just thinking about like all these people that don't have what we have, you know, that are like having such a hard time just trying to get through, and then, you know, and we're all over here on, you know, Instagram and Facebook and like
On a Zoom
sharing
conversation,
memes and shit, you know, like posting up shit, and it's like, and you like you said, we all cope differently, so we find ways to distract us from those things, and that's, I guess, I kind of have a hard time sometimes finding distractions from those thoughts, so I'm just like, they're like pulling
yeah,
on me, you know, and I'm
yeah,
like walking away from it, and it's like, no, but think about this, and it's like, you know, so you just constantly fighting that, you know, but and it sucks because you feel like, well, what can I do, you know, like what can I do to help,
yeah.
what can I do, like with
Like it's all
the
on
little,
you almost.
yeah, like the
Yeah,
little money that I have, the little, you know, the little that I have, what can I do with that, you know, and it's hard because it's, there's not much you can do, you know, and that's what I'm saying, you know, all you can do is go reach out to the ones around you and spread it, you know, and
yeah.
eventually it becomes bigger than all of us, and
That's
you
exactly
know,
what I'm telling you. You with your platform, you know, let them know, hey guys, this is what we're doing. We're staying safe. We're social distancing, because then people see you do. You know, I just don't like it when the celebrities, you know, with 5 million followers, they're in their fucking Beverly Hills mansion, like, oh, we're all in this together. You know, well, they got a fucking ranch, a tennis
with
court,
their
a
Gucci
basketball
man.
court. Yeah, and they're like, we're all in this together, and then half of their followers are in a fucking 1 bedroom apartment, like with 5 people in there. You know, it's like we're not all in this together the same way. But
Yeah,
somebody like yourself that's relatable, you know, people know you through your music. Let them know, you know, because that's what I felt like. What can I do? I have no money. I've been out of work for a month. I don't qualify for the 1200. You know, so how can I do it? So I was like, okay, just the same thing, you know, 2020 vision. You know, you want to change the world around you. Like, I'm not influential. I don't try to be, but I have these conversations with my friends. I have these conversations with listeners who are opposed to what I'm saying, just to let them know, like the whole what you brought up, the illegal workers, right? They're legal, but they're here with a permit. They're trying to deduct their pay. On the other side, they're telling, you know, like in Michigan, like we don't see that, right? Because we don't follow those pages. But on the memes that they're sharing, it's like, so you're stuck at home, but they got these illegals. The government's letting them pay, letting them work, right? Even though they're over here trying to cut their pay, that's the shit they're seeing. So they're over here like getting angry. That's why they go out and protest,
yeah,
because they're like you know, so it's everything tied in there, the misinformation, the sheeple, the everything is like, if you were to look into this. And so when I tell people, hey, I'm not trying to change I'll tell everybody, I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm trying to tell you why I think the way I think. Look at this data, look at this information, this is what I read. So I tell my dude, oh, it's because the illegals come in here to take our jobs. Like, when have you seen a white person on the fields, dude? Like, I that would be $1 million portrait of some white guy over there. Like, no, dude, they didn't come here to take your jobs. They came here to do the jobs that you Americans wouldn't do. And now they're fucking like, they're trying to deduct it and be like, oh,
I
it's because
know.
we need to save the agricultural fucking
And they don't pay as it is, those people are getting paid so little, man,
yeah,
it's torture, you know, like it's, that alone is a crime, the amount of money they're getting paid, and you're trying to cut their pay. It's like, come on.
yeah,
There's just bullshit on top of bullshit, man. That's what it is. It's just like, they're,
and I've heard people, Mexican illegals, not just Mexican, but I mean illegals of different countries descent, say things like, well, it doesn't really matter what they get paid, because in their country they wouldn't be making that, so they're happy. Like, no, that that while technically correct, that's not how it should work. Like, it's like, okay, yes, in their country they wouldn't be making that much. That's said on that. But if somebody's working, say you or I go to do that job, I think minimum wage is like $12 in California. That should be a $12 job, no matter where you're from. If it's a high demand job like now, uh, isn't Walmart giving like $2 more to their employees? Give them $2 more. It doesn't matter that that'd be way more in their country. They're not in their country. They're here.
yeah,
Instead of trying to deduct
the
it.
cost of living here is fucking ridiculous as it is, so how do you expect them to survive with that, right?
And it's just it's all tied in. Um, and I really I mean, not to get off subject, but some people, like, when we have these conversations, people say like, oh, you hate America so much. I love America, dude. This is the only country I've known. I was born in Mexico, but this is all I've known since 8 months old. I've been here. And so I say, why can't it be better? You get these $1,200. Everybody hates socialism, but that's socialism right there. Where did that
Yeah,
1,200 pop up from? I'm not saying socialism is the right thing, but all these things that, that Bernie stands for, healthcare for all, it's not so left wing as they make it out to be. It's just that the people in charge, like I said, it's not a broken system. The system is working as they plan. Make you think that these basic fucking human rights are so outlandish, like, oh, you're on your way to fucking be a Russia or Cuba. And it's like, no, look
yeah.
at Norway. It's just when you're not spending $1 trillion a month on war, you have money for other things.
It's sad. It's sad to see that there's people against that. Like, why are you against fucking healthcare? Like, why are you against? Every other place in the world has this, but we can't. Like, it's sad because it's like goes back to the whole thing of like, why? Like, what? Like, what's your what's your hatred towards
Yeah, like
towards us? Like,
what are the negatives? Like, oh, it's gonna cost money. All things cost money. It's like, yeah, we
yeah,
agree on that. Yeah, where are they gonna get the money from? They just spend $1 trillion a day for the last 21 days. Today's the 21st, right? $1 trillion a day for the month of April, a day for so 9 more days, I believe. I think it's only 30 days. 30 trillion popped out like that out of nowhere, and nobody has any issue with that. And it's just for the stock market, nothing else. It's just so the stock market doesn't crash, and nobody's talking about it. Yet Bernie said this is going to cost us 10 trillion over 10 years. And everybody's, oh, where are you going to get all that money from? Over 10
yeah.
years, it was a big deal. Over 30 days, nobody bats an eye.
That
There's
was ridiculous. That whole argument too, because they were like, oh well, you know, now it costs this much. How are you even gonna make that possible? And it's like, yeah, and that's one of the fucking problems right there, that it costs this much in the first place. Like, healthcare shouldn't be this expensive in the
no,
first place. Lower the price, and that's not gonna be as much as you think.
yeah.
We're not gonna keep charging people, like ripping people off to stay alive anymore.
Like when you
But
get an ambulance, it's like a 4Gs. I've had homies get in car crashes and turn down the ambulance. Like my homie, I'm sure
get
you'll
an
be,
Uber,
yeah, dude,
get an
more
Uber.
beneficial. And some of these
Straight
fucking
up.
nurses got to drive Uber on their spare time, so you might get help because they don't get paid enough. Like where's this money going to when it's so expensive, and yet your nurses, your doctors aren't making what they should. The
Yeah,
public teachers should be making way more. It's like invest in your youth. Like it's not. I mean, it is difficult, right? Somebody much smarter than me should come up with a plan. But if a dumbass like me could fucking invest in your youth, fucking put a lot of money into public health, start with sports, arts, all the after school programs, dude, you're gonna have a thriving society. Isn't a thriving society best for everybody, not just the 1%? But that's the thing. They don't want the best thing for the society. They want the best thing for themselves. And right now, since all these old congressmen are all fucking in there, they're just trying to give you one last fuck you. And the boomers are in there just letting them do whatever they want. Like they'd rather die than see their fucking country go left. And it's like
yeah,
these rich assholes are all left. You're in Congress for 2 years, 4 years, 6 years, and your salary is for life. That's socialism. But yet they tell you to retire at 65. But the cost of living is going up, so you might have to retire at 70. And you're like, okay, like, what the fuck? How did they like? They had great PR because they convinced you to fuck yourself. They're not even fucking you. You're fucking yourself. Whew, that was a little rant. I felt energized.
yeah, man. That shit is. I don't know, man. I hopefully something good comes out of all this,
It's
because
let's hope, and at least have the
yeah,
conversations. I was talking to my family, over the last week or so, and there's all this stigma. You can't talk about this at work. I'm like, why not? We should. A lot of places they don't want you to let your coworkers know how much you're making. Why? Because they don't. Maybe so and so got a raise last month and you didn't. They want you guys to keep down. Don't. Like, no, we're doing the same job. Maybe I should get paid more. They politics. Oh no, dude. Some of my best friends are super centrist, where my shit sounds outlandish. And I'm like, how does healthcare hurt? How is free college hurt? Like, oh, I paid for college. Well, you're being selfish. Yeah, you paid. That sucks. Let the next generation not have to pay for it. Well, if I had a struggle, is that how it works? Like I struggled, so you have to too. Like you have from kindergarten. In some cases, my daughter was in preschool, so from preschool to 12th grade is free. And in the last 4 years, it's a ridiculous idea. The last four, so 12 out of 13 out of 17 is okay, but you say 17 out of 17, no, that's fucking crazy. We can't do that. The schools are expensive. Well, yeah, because they're for-profit schools. Let's get rid of for-profit prisons, because when they don't have inmates, they have to get bullshit ass laws put into place, like marijuana be illegal because they need to fill up these fucking slave fucking camps.
Yeah.
That should be illegal, right? Like, oh no, but they shouldn't commit a crime. Well, when you start putting in stupid ass laws just so you can fill them up, there's something wrong with that. And it's not, I love these people, right? I could have these conversations with these people. I'm not going to think anything less of them. That's just the way they believe, whatever they believe for that reason. The same way I believe what I believe for my reasons. We could still be friends. Like we should have these conversations. And that's one thing I think is simple, but effective. You're not going to change somebody's mind in a day, but you could open their eyes. Let them see for themselves. Let them, that curiosity, plant that seed and let them think. Because I wasn't always liberal. I was more, I don't know, a little bit more left leaning than centrist. But a lot of my own strong opinions came from me just like, dude, this is weird. How come in Norway, you go to the hospital, you get a fucking heart transfusion, you come out and your debt is zero. And here in America, you come out and you're fucking $300,000 in debt. Like, I'd rather die.
Right.
But dude, I'm not gonna be working the rest of my life to pay off some fucking hospital. Fuck that. Like it is crazy because
Yeah, man.
it's so outlandish, but yet when you break it down to people, they're like, that's how they do it in Norway. That's how they do it in Scandinavia. That's how they do it at a lot of places.
Yeah.
Germany, our neighbors to the north, Canada. And then there's so much, like you say, misinformation. Oh, but it takes doctors 6 months to see you. Oh, no, no, no. If you have the money, you can go to a doctor just like any other doctor, except you're going to pay. But you can go to a private school. I have a lot of friends that went to private high schools. But if you can't afford it like myself, you go to the public one. I still got a great education. But they got a better education. Maybe, maybe not. It's what they did with it, what I did with mine, right? But if you could afford a good doctor, go pay for it. It's still there. And people think like, oh no, like all this industry, that's like, it's not communism. It's just an option. You have the money, you want to pay for that fucking top-notch doctor, you're going to pay a top-notch price.
Yeah.
It's
True. It's crazy, man. Crazy.
and the stigma, like when in the movies they even portray it that way. The high uncle, the drunk uncle, that's like always talking about conspiracy theories. Like, no, dude, that's why they portray it the way they do. They want to make it seem so out of fucking touch, out of whatever. It's like, no, dude, most people feel this way. To talk about some data, there was a blind study, right? Doesn't matter Republican or Democrat, just kind of like down the line. What do you believe? Like, should weed be legal? 70% of America says yes, it should be. Abortion, still touchy subject, still 55% said yes, it should be a woman's right. They're not with it, but they're just a woman should decide. Is global warming a thing? Climate change. 60% said yes. So it is not a partisan issue, but it's like now I'm like, the whole team politics. Oh, I'm team red, I'm team blue, so I got to go with whatever team red says.
Yeah.
Like, no, you should vote for what you believe in. But the thing is, both of these people running right now, who do you believe in? It's the same guy in a different fucking evil mask. It's the same shit.
Yeah, man. It's like I don't even know, man. When the fucking there's no choice. There's no choice in these choices. It's just like what, like this is what we're getting, really. Like this is what you guys want. All right.
Yeah.
I
What is it?
guess.
350 million people in America, and it comes down to these two.
Huh.
Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know. I don't know the answer. I'm a fucking dummy. I'm a dumbass piece of shit. Somebody should make a system where there's 3 or 4, dude. 3 or 4. You start putting 8 up there, the winner's gonna have like 15%. Like, no, let's do 3 or 4. Half of the majority. Let's go back to 2000. was it 2000? Yeah. Al Gore won the majority decision, and he didn't win the presidency. So you don't need somebody to win most of it. You just need, I mean, all of it. You just need somebody to win most of it. If you have 4 candidates and the winner gets like 25, 30% while everybody else gets 20, that's who most people wanted. Like it shouldn't be as hard as it is. But the same thing I keep repeating, the system isn't broken. It's working perfectly. Keeps funneling the same shit to the top.
Exactly. Same scheme.
Yeah.
that
Let's
should never ends, man. But
nothing.
we'll see. We'll see how it goes with this, man. I just hope people are careful more than anything. We don't need more people dying.
Oh man, it sucks because even though I don't agree with them on any fucking not on anything, I'm sure on some things, but see the protests happening in Michigan, Minnesota, where the nurses have to stand and block the hospital so people don't get in there. It's like let's say every nurse is lying, every doctor's lying, and Trump's telling the truth. Wear a fucking mask. Be careful. You're gonna be out there. They're protesting with guns on fucking the government buildings. To switch the subject real quick, imagine they were brown or black. They'd be shot.
Yeah.
They'd be arrested. But these guys are up there.
Story.
And I need a haircut. You see all the signs they have? I need a haircut. I need my Wendy's. Like, what the? What kind of? That is some fucking white people privilege. Look at this fro. The listeners can't.
I know, man. Check this out, bro.
Yeah, man. And dude,
look like I'm back in the 70s again. Oh shit!
Oh shoot!
Nah.
My Mac isn't that long. I had it trimmed.
Maybe
2 weeks before the quarantine.
What is it called? The
mullet? You want to do the mullet?
Got a mullet, man. I got a mullet now, full on.
you should, coming out of the quarantine, do the Rat King. Well, not the Rat King, the Tiger King. Fucking.
Oh shit!
But like all these protests happening nationwide, it's just, even though they're still human beings. I don't want them to die, even though we're not on the same party, on the same whatever. They're still people, and these people are just putting themselves in danger. And then they got kids or grandparents or family or neighbors at home. If they're fucking doing this close with strangers, they're still throwing their barbecues on the weekend. You get me? And they're so fucking arrogant about it, so fucking short-sighted about it. Like, where they're like, we need to open this now. And let's see things open. In a week or two, these people are gonna start getting sick. And then all these businesses that are opening are gonna start themselves getting sick. So what's the point of having them open when all your customers, all your employees are going to be sick? Not all of them.
Yeah.
But then you start losing wives, husbands, kids, grandparents, neighbors. Some of these fucking people that protested, have died. Yeah. And for what, just because they were bored at the house?
Yeah, that's another thing. Like my neighbor was telling me, he was like, if anything, this is a good time for people to like learn a new craft, like take up on a hobby, like, or work on your hobby, or do something, like when people are saying that they're bored, it's like, come on, you can't be bored. Like, man, I wish this would have happened when I was a kid, man. I would have loved a freaking, I don't know how long of a vacation this is gonna be for them, but like at the same time, it's just like it's so unreal, like to like you were saying, like when people started taking it serious and there was like nobody out in the streets. I was driving because I was still working. I was driving to work and there was like no traffic, and I was like, what? Like, this is crazy. Like, I never in my life thought I would see a day with no traffic like that, And I'm just like, damn, like it's like a whole nother freaking dimension that we're living in right now.
It's an episode out of the Twilight Zone. That's what I've been journaling too. That's been my thing, journaling. And I guess journaling and podcasts have been like my hobby, because this is pretty cool. Now that I'm like, at first I was like, dude, this is a one-on-one show with like conversations in real time, so you can have that feel of a conversation. The listeners love it because it's like in real time. Somebody says something, I'm like, what? You love that aspect. I love that. So like, I'm not even gonna do this, and I started doing it, and I started journaling. And journaling, I just write bullshit, whatever's on my mind. Not productive or anything like that, but just try to get my thoughts together. And I put this like a Twilight Zone episode. Like, this is stranger than fiction. Like, if somebody would write a movie about this right now going on, everything, that's bullshit. That all these, like you said earlier, all these coincidences cannot happen in one fucking movie. And here we are. Everything we've said, everything that's going to continue to happen. Trump closing the border, like, dude, these offices have been closed. Like, you're just doing it for a pool. Yeah, his listeners, his followers eat it up. Like, yeah, fucking, that's my president. It's like,
Papi
oh,
Trump.
fuck. And you got Latinos being sellouts. Like, dude, if he's gonna give me 1,200, misinformed Latinos, right? Obama never gave me 1,200. Like this, he's doing a pretty good job. And dude, are they trolling or are they being sincere? But their vote,
man.
I can't vote, right? Go ahead.
I seen that. I seen a lot of people like, oh well, he gave me $1,200, and I'm like, do you not fucking pay taxes, bro? Because that ain't shit, man. Like, they take way more than that every freaking single year, So,
and one thing I tell the listeners, I tell my friends is these people protesting, that lady yelling out the window at the doctor, obscenities, talking about his race and shit. Her vote counts equally as much as yours. So that's why you need to get out there and vote.
yeah.
And in some areas, gerrymandering and shit, her vote might count more than yours. So it's important for you to get your friends to go out and vote, like these conversations need to happen. A lot of people say, why politics? Why? Dude, it's a day we live in. You can't even talk sports, Somebody messaged me the other day, why am I only talking politics? I'm like, well, I'm not talking politics. It's Corona, and then it leads to that. And it's even Corona. It's just, I can't talk to you about sports. Oh, did you see the Laker game? Yeah, they've been canceled for the last month and a half. Did you see the Dodgers opening day? Yeah, it just passed by. They said they might not have a home game till 2020. So what do we talk about? And this is on everybody's mind. Everybody's thinking this shit. Some people are still working. Message me like, dude, I can't believe the shit sometimes you say. Like, I'm a ridiculous guy. I don't fucking, like you said, I could come in. Remember we talked about like, hey, how's it going? That's not me. So I just keep it real. And like some of the shit you said on there, I didn't believe. So I looked it up and it was true. And I'm like, I have nothing to gain by you agreeing with me or disagreeing with me. But all I'm telling you is do your own. I don't know if the research is the right word, like I said, but do your own research.
Yeah.
Go look up Operation Paperclip. These things are real. Look up Columbus, like the things we talked about. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind one way or the other. Just make your own decisions, because you see this fucking clickbait, they share without reading it. And it's just all entangled in this fucking chaotic Twilight Zone episode that doesn't make fucking sense.
Yeah, man. Fucking nonsense. The year of nonsense.
And too, this was supposed to be everybody said that, right? But this was supposed to be my year. Fucking 2020 vision. These things are going so great. Fucking personal life is great. Professional, everything's going cool. Looking at a new schedule for work, working 4 days, 10-hour shifts, maybe longer, but have weekends off every week. Just things falling into place that I've worked for, that I've earned. Just kind of like, cool, man. I'm an adult now. I could, like I appreciate myself. So if they don't appreciate me, I got to look elsewhere type of thing. Things are starting to happen. And then obviously, I'm glad to be alive and good health, but everything just goes to shit. Like, and in a good way, it kind of put things in perspective too, though. At least for me, like, okay, well, this is what's important. Who have I really hit up these last few weeks? My friends and family. Okay. So that's why I say, fuck a podcast. Like even this, I love it. But if it goes to shit, like 2-3 years from now, like I'll enjoy all these memories. I'll enjoy all this, but I'm not looking to get famous or make money off this. This is just a cool thing to do. And there's people fucking listening that enjoy it. So I'll keep doing it as long as they're listening or as long as I keep enjoying it. But it's like, if they were to take it away from me, because that's what I felt like, fuck, I can't do this anymore because I didn't even know about Zoom. I never used Skype, so I didn't know this was possible. So I was like, fuck it. If I take a month or two off, people are gonna find new shit to do, whatever. I might lose listeners. So I wasn't getting down, but I was like, well, whatever. Let's just go on with life. And then today, as we were recording this, I set it all up. And then I just happened to ask, what day is it today? And I was like, oh shit, yes, it was for 20. I'm like, it's about 2 days from now. So the day that this drops is the anniversary of the day that last year's episode. This is a 1 year anniversary when people hear this. Like, I'm like, dude, I can't believe we made it a year. So it's kind of like grateful, like for the little things,
Yeah.
like,
Congrats.
thank you. Thank you for being on. But it's just kind of like, okay, whenever this ends, might be fucking a month from now, might be 6 months from now, like family and friends, family and friends. Obviously my daughter, most importantly for me, but my daughter, my family, my friends, that's what matters to me. I could see that now, in these trying times. I'm
Yeah.
like, keep that in perspective going forward, like, oh, so-and-so didn't like my show. I don't give a fuck. I get all these hate messages that my show sucks. I'm like, dude, thank you for listening to that one episode you listened to. I'm sorry it didn't work out for you, but thank you for giving me the time. Like, fuck it, dude. Who gives a fuck? It's like some people will not like your music. Like, they shouldn't get to you. I don't think it does, right? But fuck it. Fuck them. You don't make it for them. You make it for
Yeah.
the people that do, for yourself.
If you get caught up trying to worry about what other people think, you're never gonna be a happy person, man.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
it is, Just worry about yourself, and those people are unhappy, and that's why they are the way they are, because they're just unhappy with themselves, and they project it on other people into somebody else.
Yeah. And
But
sometimes the last, maybe the February, I had the good and the bad comes, the good and the bad, good, good, good. But then I got hit with like a bad, 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 bad. And you're like, the fuck am I doing this for, dude? This is what I signed up for, just get shit talked to behind a computer screen, a fucking cell phone screen. I'm not. And so, like, that's what I'm saying. With this all coming together, I'm like, fuck those people. I don't even need to reply to them. Why am I giving them the time of day to even say, hey, man, thank you for listening? Like, fuck it, let them be ignored,
let
Because,
them be mad at
yeah.
themselves.
Anything you want to talk about? Anything you feel like you haven't hit on?
Nah, man. I would just want to say thank you to all the people that are still working out there. That are making it happen, like all the grocery store workers, doctors and nurses, man. Definitely, like, thank you to them, because you know they're they're carrying us right now. They're taking care of our family. They're taking care of everyone. So, and they're putting their lives at risk. So, just a big thank you to all of them. All the workers that are still out there working, and all the people that are staying home, because we need that as well. So I know some people feel like you know oh, what am I doing? I'm just here. But you're what you're doing is good for everybody else. It might not seem like you're doing much, but if that makes a difference. Every little bit counts. So I just I hope the next time we have one of these, it's in better times, and better subject, and hopefully
Yeah,
some good things to talk about. And
a show coming up would be dope. Get back in the rhythm of things. Like, fucking,
yeah,
we're
yeah,
gonna be at
yeah.
this place. Let the listeners know. Hey, come by, show support. Yeah,
Exactly, man. And we're like I said, we're gonna start doing some stuff with the band. I just moved right now, so I'm setting everything up a little bit, and we'll probably be doing some live stuff. So if
nice.
anybody wants or needs some sweet reggae music, where to find us. Delirians.com. Um, we're all we've all we haven't seen each other since before the whole lockdown. The whole band. So
Damn.
it's just I saw our bass player came and helped me move some stuff, so that was cool. But the rest of the cats, I haven't even seen them. A lot of these guys are full-time musicians, so they have no work at all right now. But yeah, man, just and thank you to you, man, for keeping your show going. Because you're spreading the word to different people. That's another more content for people too. Everybody gets stuck on that Netflix world.
Myself included. But no, man, thank you for coming on. I mean that sincerely. It's not a self-help podcast, but just about anything. Some words of wisdom. Hit them with the final little thoughts before they They go
Well,
back to Netflix.
yeah. Like I said earlier, just take care of yourself, take care of each other, and ask your neighbors if they need help, ask the people around you. Just because we're in this distancing doesn't mean we can't communicate with each other in other ways. So just look out for those people that need it the most, and just be supportive towards your family, towards your loved ones, and we'll get through this. We're stronger. We're stronger than this. We've gone through a lot of stuff, and we'll get through this. Of course we will. But we just gotta be careful, and be nice. At the same time too. You hear a lot of this whole thing going on with the racism. It's sad. Because you can't blame anybody for this. This is something that just happens. It's a part of nature. So just be nice to each other, and be supportive, and love each other, because yeah, man, we're all we got.
Yeah, we got.
We're all we got.
Real quick, did you see the video of my daughter singing your song karaoke? I think I
Yeah.
tagged you on it. Yeah, she was here over the weekend, and so she got a karaoke machine, and so she was singing
Nice.
Duran Jones, the Cranberries, "Zombie." She loves that song, and then of
Nice.
course, she always throws it on the Delirians. So
Yeah, man.
I don't know if you saw her; she was actually singing it. So she knows the
Yeah,
words.
yeah,
Everybody was kind of like, "Oh shit!" Like she knows these songs. I'm like, yeah.
yeah.
It's a long drive out here. I play good music for her.
Yeah, man. It's uh, we got more. I got some writing to do. After this too. And we'll have a lot more music coming out, and hopefully we'll see you at one of our shows, and we'll have some all ages shows. You could bring her down, dude, and
That'd be beautiful.
yeah, man.
That'd
It's
be beautiful.
it's 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 it might be a while, but
Yeah, we got
we'll
something to
get
look
back.
forward to. Yeah,
We'll get back to it, and we'll be stronger than ever.
that's beautiful. Angel, thank you. It's a pleasure
Thank you,
again.
brother.
You can find them again, Angel Salgado from the Delirians. You can find him on Instagram at King Mantis Records, and his band is the Delirians. Um, you already know, guys. No one loves you. Hector loves you. I'll see you next time.
Later, brother. Take
Take
care.
care. Thank you. You too.